Kristel, could you tell me something about diving around the island, Koh Chang, Kood and Koh Chang?
Yeah. The diving here is quite new. It's like developed the last 15 years or so. So it's not as known yet in Thailand as some other islands. We have nice coral reefs, not too deep, so quite easy diving, no strong currents. We have quite a lot of reefs. We have reefs around Koh Chang. We have a shipwreck around Koh Chang, which is really nice. And then we have the national park, Koh Chang National Park, which is beautiful coral reef, lots of fishes. And then we have Koh Chang and Kood, which all have their own area of diving. So of the different islands, we dive different dive sites.
What can we see under the water here?
Well, it's also depending on which reef you go to. But for instance, the national park, we have nice coral reefs between 20 to 10 meters and then up to 2 meters even. For snorkeling is nice as well. And marine life is a big variety of fish, very colorful, but nothing huge. Like we don't have big sharks or something, but we do have like a very colorful, a lot of nudibranches, eels, stingrays, parrotfish, clownfish, the Nemos. Yeah, so colorful and small.
But you were mentioning about whale shark?
And whale shark, yeah. Now we have the HTMS Chang Shipwreck, which attracts like new marine life. Like now we start to see whale sharks regularly. Almost every week now we see whale shark. There's schools of barracuda, there's huge groupers on it, and so it's changed the marine life a bit having this shipwreck. Yeah, turtles we see sometimes. Yeah, nice.
You were mentioning a shipwreck. It's quite a new thing, isn't it?
Yes, the HTMS Chang has really changed the diving around Koh Chang. Yeah, we got it off the government sunk it. It's an old Navy boat. Used to be an American ship given to Thailand, and then now it's out of service and they sank it. It's 100 meters long, so it's the biggest shipwreck in Thailand. Yeah, the bottom is on 30 meters, the deck is on 20 meters, and it's been sunk in 2012. And it attracted fish, like within a week there was fish on it already, so it's a really, really nice area to dive. The shipwreck itself has been sunk for diving, so we were there, we witnessed we witnessed when they pulled it there, we witnessed them filling it up with water. And then also we could visit the boat before it was sunk, which is nice, so we walked through it everywhere, we went to look at the engines and everything, and then after it was sunk, now we can dive through it, and we know it quite well. So that is special. Also the wreck is so big that you can easily do a few dives on it, and everywhere you have different things to see. Even beginner divers, because the mast goes up to 5 meters underwater, so around the mast there's a lot of divers doing the safety stops, or maybe some exercises. And, also even snorkelers, from the top they can see like the whole scene of the wreck, which gives quite spectacular views.
It's a big attraction now.
It's a big attraction now. Yeah, it's really changed the diving. People like to explore it, and most divers are not trained to go inside. But I mean, even around the wreck, it's covered in shells. The gorgonians grow on it. Now coral starts to grow, which is new. It's only been a few years, so the coral is just starting. But like I say, the whale shark is coming to it, and then the schools of barracuda, schools of snappers, a lot of scorpion fish. They're all hiding on the on the deck, on the shells, and it gives an interesting change from the coral reef. Yeah.
And you were mentioned that we can, or divers can do some combined diving.
Yeah. We have, so as I said, we have the center in Koh Chang, a center in Koh Chang, and a center in Kood. So people who stay in Kood dive Kood. People who stay in Koh Chang dive either Koh Chang or the national park. And Koh Chang we dive the wreck in the national park. So quite a lot of people want to do all those sites. They come for a week, and then we organize this like island hopping trip where they stay in Koh Chang for 2 days, they do the wreck, and then they dive the national park. And then we move them to the boat from Koh Chang. They go to Koh Chang, and then they dive from there 2 days, and then they go to Kood and do the sites there. So this way, they see different dive sites, different areas, and also it's a different dive experience, because like from Koh Chang we have a relaxed day trip. We make 2 or 3 dives on a wooden boat, so they can sit on the sun deck, go to the shade, just talk to people. From Koh Chang, because the sites are very close, we dive off a speedboat, so then they have like half-day trips, and then they have the afternoon on the beach in Koh Chang. And then in Kood we dive also off a wooden boat, but the sites are quite close to Kood, so people are back quite early so they can visit the waterfalls in Kood or something, make a combination trip. Yeah.
You were already mentioned that your main base is in Koh Chang. You have also some background here. Can you tell me something about that?
Here in Koh Chang, we have fun divers, and we also have a lot of dive students. So here in Lonely Beach, I've made this as our training center. So we also have a hostel. So if people are divers, backpackers, they stay here. If they prefer more luxury, we pick them up in their hotel and we train here. Like we've built this pool especially for diving. So we have a shallow area and we have a deep area for the training. It's a bit small, but that's actually not a problem because we always take like small groups for diving. We take like 3 people in one group maximum, so we don't need more than 3 people in there. Yeah. And so we've started out with this training center to do like open water, PADI open water, and then some buoyancy courses. But now, since we've gotten bigger, we also do dive master training and instructor training, which also happens in the pool here, and then the classroom behind, under the dormitory. Yeah. Yeah. So we have it all together here. Then when people are ready to go on the boat, we'll bring them to the pier in Bang Bao and we go off.
And Kristel, you are the owner of the diving company BB Divers. So how it's all started?
It started, well, I came to Koh Chang 17 years ago and I worked in as a travel guide. And I was also a dive instructor, so I freelanced a bit here and I got to know the area and I just fell in love with the island. I think it's a very beautiful island, and it's, like I say, new discovered in diving. Like everybody before went to Koh Tao, but Koh Tao is nice, but there's just so many divers there already. And so I thought it's nice for people who want more quiet diving. And so I looked around a bit and I find a nice place on the pier in Bang Bao. So I could start from there. I got small boats. My first boat was like a really small boat I got here. And so it's now 15 years I have the diving school. So I started first from the pier teaching myself and then get one more instructor and then get one more staff. And so slowly we grew. And then I started a second center here for training and then a few shops around. And then slowly I opened up in Kood and then in Koh Chang. Yeah. So now we're quite developed on the island. Yeah, we've been here now 15 years. Yeah.
So now you have all these centers in Koh Chang and Kood, so the people can just go there and get their diving from these islands as well.
Yeah. So we can offer them, because a lot of people really like the area here. So a lot of people come to Koh Chang and come back to Koh Chang and maybe 2 or 3 times, and then maybe they want to see something else. So then they move to Koh Chang or Kood. The areas we do get. Of course, we do get tourism because that's what everybody lives off, but it's still quiet enough to really feel like you're in Thailand. You know, it's very tropical. It's still very Thai, a lot of Thai restaurants. You have some Western foods. You have the luxury of the Western hotels, but it's still a very Thai atmosphere on the island. Yeah.
So your business grew quite substantially. Now you have quite a few boats. So how is the diving? What type of boats you offer to divers?
Here in Koh Chang we dive off a comfortable big wooden boat. It used to be like fishing boats that we've transferred into a diving boat. It's one of the things I think why people like to come back here is because I like to offer comforts on the boats. You're not just jump in the water, go diving, get back to the hotel quickly. You know, you really have like a day trip on the boat. So it's very spacious. I even have a slide on the boat, so families, they come, the kids can play in the lunch break, and they're big and comfortable enough to have like a nice day trip. So it's not just about the dives, which of course is why people come, but also like in the lunch we have a big buffet with type food, so not just the fried rice from our pots, but you have like nice food and some fruit, and it's like a day out on the boat. So the diving is nice, but the whole trip is important, I think, not just a quick dive trip, make it like a day trip. Yeah.
So it's a nice experience of the diving, all day diving and going on the wooden boat, relax and have some food.
yeah, that's it as well. And also we have a lot of families. We have a lot of families where, for instance, maybe mom and dad are diving and the kids are not, or maybe mom is diving and dad is not, and then they can snorkel and still have a nice day out, because the reefs are good for diving and snorkeling here. We don't, as I said, we don't have like strong currents or really deep reefs, so it's good for boat activities. Yeah.
And you have also other boats. You have a speedboat, I think, on Koh Chang.
Yeah, on Koh Chang opted for the speedboat because the reefs are very close to the island. So, setting up a wooden boat and a day there is not really any use because the reef is 5 minutes out from the island. Yeah. So there we go with the speedboat, and then between the two dives we go to a beach. We have like a snack on the beach, and then we did make the second dive, and then we come back. Yeah, it's like a half-day trip. Also on Koh Chang, having the speedboat means that we can go to the national park because Koh Chang is very close to Koh Chang National Park. So if we go to the national park, we are there before all the other snorkel boats and all the other diving boats. So actually the divers coming with us are in the national park about 9:20, 9:30, while most boats arrive 11 o'clock. So they have like the privacy and the luxury of the reef to themselves.
The luxury having the nice dive site to yourself before the other divers come.
Yeah, really, and that's a lot of people appreciate that from Koh Chang, that because the national park is nice, but of course a lot of boats go there because it's so nice. So it's good to be there early.
And how do you operate on Kood?
In Kood we also do the wooden boats. In Kood we also have a lot of families and who want to go out for the day trip. So when we do the trip around Kood, we also have the wooden boat with 2 decks. So one deck is shade, one deck is sun. And the dive sites around Kood are only about half an hour away, so it's a short full day trip. Come back about 3 or 4 o'clock. If you go to the national park, it's a bit longer because Kood is a bit further from Koh Chang. We do that once a week. Some people want to go for 2 or 3 or 4 days so they can see all different dive sites. So there is also more of a day out diving or snorkeling. The courses, the nice thing in Koh Chang and Kood is that the courses there we can do off the beach. Yes, in Koh Chang we don't because there's more traffic, there's more boats, but Koh Chang and Kood are very quiet, so we can actually train the upper water, just walk off the beach and train the course. We don't need a pool there.
And Kristel, can you tell me, for somebody who never dived before, is it good to come to here and try it, and what can you offer to people completely newcomer?
Okay, actually we have a lot of people who never dived before because they come from a colder country, so it's not really the option of diving. So a lot of people that come here take either a full course, the PADI open water course, which you can do in 3 days, and then they have their diving license. Or a lot of people just want to try it, and then we offer them a Discover Scuba Diving, DSD, which is a PADI program where they can learn everything in 1 day. It's like an experience. So what we do is they go on the boats and then we teach them the basics, really like what to do, what not to do. And then we take them to a beach in the national park where they can do a few exercises and off they go for 2 dives. Not very deep, like the first dive, 5-6 meters, but there's fish, there's coral, there's everything you want to see. And then after lunch they make a second dive, and most people actually are quite good already, on the second dive already we can take them to 10-12 meters, and most people really like it. Quite a lot of people, when they have the time, continue to do the full course after, once they've tried the diving.
And can I ask, do you do anything for the children?
We have a few programs for children. It's of course quite a lot of snorkeling. We also have a snorkel guide with the kids and with the snorkelers, but we also have a bubble maker program. A bubble maker is a dive to 2 meters. Kids from 8 to 10 can do this. And what we do is we do this also in the national park in the lunch break. So like mostly people snorkel or dive, and then in the lunch break the kid takes like the mini course, and then the parents can follow snorkeling and take some pictures or film it. And most kids are like fish in the water, just tell them what to do and off they go. It's like it's quite nice.
And what's about free diving? I've heard that you are starting to set up something for this type of diving.
Yeah, we have more and more people who ask for free diving, because it's like a new thing to do, because now PADI has courses, free diving, and when you travel around you don't need the dive equipment or anything, you only need a mask and fins. Even without fins already you can do quite a lot. So we offer free diving courses, and people who take the first level course is like a 2-day course, and already on the first level almost everybody manages to hold their breath for 2 minutes and go already to 16 meters depth. So actually once people have taken this course and they travel around, they can just go up free diving with a buddy, of course, for safety, but all you need is your mask, fins, and off you go to see the underwater world. So a lot of people like it because it's cheaper and it's easier and you can do it anywhere. Yeah, and it's a very nice, how to say, it's a very nice experience. You move your body to doing something which you wouldn't think you're capable of doing. You know, it's like people doing yoga for the first time and they go like, wow. That's the same feeling with the free diving.
And Kristel, can you tell me what is the best time to come to dive here?
We dive all year. In the area here of the 3 islands we dive all year, but the best season is November to May, because then we almost always have good weather. Exceptionally we can have like 1 or 2 rainy days, but it's always nice, hot, not windy, no waves, blue water. And low season, so June to October, we are open, we are diving. Actually July and August are even quite busy, but the weather is a bit unpredictable then. It's like we can get wind, we can get some rain, but it's a tropical climate, so it's always hot and there's always sun. It's just not sure when. It can switch quite quickly, but you know, a rain shower you get wet and then it's always warm, so it's not really a problem. Yeah.
And you have some seasons which is like calmer, where you can come and still dive and just less people?
Yeah. Well, that's the advantage of coming low season is that, first of all, most of the hotels offer green season prices, so you have your hotel half the price. And as I say, the diving, the snorkeling, we go out, so the boats are less busy. Only the weather can maybe be a bit less. That's the disadvantage. Yeah. And then high season is it's quite easy in the tropics. When you come high season, you just know the weather is going to be good. Yeah. I mean, I'm Belgian. I know in Belgium when I go in summer to the sea, it's probably not going to be good because we have like the weather is not always nice in summer or in winter. Yeah. But here you just know dry season is dry season, and you will have good weather. Yeah. Yeah.
So what would you like to say at the end for the people to come diving or to come visiting Koh Chang, Kood, Koh Chang?
Yeah, well, of course I hope to get more divers and more people to get to discover the islands. They are really, really beautiful islands. I mean, with the jungle, the mountains, of course the diving. So we are getting more and more people who come for courses and for fun diving, and all of them are happy with it. So I just hope some people from Czech Republic can come as well. Yes. Okay.
I'm sure they will. Thank you.